Football lovers all over Africa and other parts of the world have been enjoying top-flight soccer artistry by players considered to be the very best of the pack among home-based players of the countries taking part in the football tournament currently going on in many cities in South Africa. The main reason why the Confederation of African Football (CAF) organized the championship is to encourage football authorities in Africa to pay more attention to the domestic leagues in their various countries. This is to stem the rising trend in the flight of players in the domestic leagues to what is considered the more lucrative leagues abroad. In fact, to demonstrate its determination to help redress the situation that has led to an almost complete drought of good players in the domestic leagues of many African countries, due to the massive exodus of these players to seek greener pastures abroad, the Confederation of African Football (CAF), in the last edition of the Continental Awards in Lagos, introduced a separate award which it tagged African Player of the Year based in Africa. This is indeed a commendable and forward-looking step by the Confederation of African Football (CAF). However, while many African countries like South Africa, Kenya, Zimbabwe, Morocco, Tunisia, Ghana, Algeria, Egypt have very thriving domestic leagues, properly packaged, profitably run, with good welfare and remuneration package for the players in place, the same cannot be said of some African countries, sadly including Nigeria. In most of these countries, where their domestic leagues have taken firm roots, the national teams are usually made up of teams from the domestic leagues. Indeed, football clubs from these countries have continued to win most of the continental championships in soccer organized by CAF, the body that governs football matters in Africa. For instance, in the last CAF Awards, Al Ahly Football Club of Egypt, that formed the nucleus of the Egyptian national team, won the award for the best football club in Africa, even though because of the unsteady political situation in the country, competitive football has not been played in the last 2 years. Without any doubt at all, Nigeria is one country where talents abound in football in overwhelming proportion, from the grassroots age grade up to the senior level. Over the years, the missing link, which has created a great gap that the football authorities have begun to address forcefully in recent times, is putting in place a well-structured, properly run domestic league where all the enticing perks like good remuneration and welfare package that will discourage players from jumping ship are properly executed. That is why one commends the National Sports Commission under the dynamic and purpose-driven leadership of the Sports Minister, Malam Bolaji Abdullahi, and the Director General of the Commission, Honorable Gbenga Elegbeleye, for their vision and foresight in giving birth to a special committee led by Honorable Nduka Irabo that has already embarked on sweeping changes calculated to give Nigeria's domestic league a completely new lease of life. Under the new dispensation, all players in the domestic league will earn nothing less than 150,000 naira a month, and all matches of the Nigerian domestic league will be televised on terrestrial and cable television. When that is done, Nigeria's football would have been given a breath of fresh air and rebranded in tandem with President Goodluck Jonathan's avowed transformation of Nigeria sports. One hopes that club owners, Nigerian Football Federation, and all stakeholders in football will support the Nduka Irabo-led committee and the National Sports Commission in the onerous task of re-engineering Nigerian football, which is long overdue. Nigerian football and Nigerians will be the ultimate beneficiaries. Coach Stephen Keshi should be commended for his steadfast and unflinching belief in players in Nigerian domestic league, even when nobody gave them any chance. This he boldly demonstrated in the build-up to the 2013 African Nations Cup with the inclusion of about 5 home-based players in the Super Eagles squad that eventually lifted the most prized soccer diadem in Africa after 19 years break. Coach Stephen Keshi was vindicated after all, as it was the domestic league that produced the most outstanding revelation of the Nigerian attack at the 2013 Nations Cup competition, Sunday Mba, who helped in burying the ambition of Burkina Faso to lift the cup with an emphatic goal in the final match against them. Strongman in Nigerian defense, also from the domestic league, Godfrey Obeabuna, pocketed Didier Drogba for 90 minutes in the Super Eagles make-or-mar match with Cote d'Ivoire and effectively retired him from the Nations Cup competition henceforth. Paradoxically, both Sunday Mba and Godfrey Obeabuna now play professional football in Turkey and France. Nigeria would still have been enjoying the services of these two very promising players if the environment at home had provided them a better alternative. That is why we must all support the move of the National Sports Commission to up the ante in Nigeria's domestic league to make it as attractive or even more attractive than what obtains in other leagues abroad. The way Nigerian home-based players currently representing us in South Africa have progressively and systematically upped their game and bounced back to reckoning as a team to watch at the Chan Championship, making a complete mincemeat of South Africa right on their own soil, is indeed victory for homegrown Nigerian football. Whether plying their trade as professionals or home-based footballers, the fact remains talent full ground. Ide for body.
Nigeria to that great success in South Africa. Down the near side, Uzoeni back inside. Lovely touches from Nigeria. Uzoeni looking for his second and he finds it brilliantly. Surely now wraps up the Nigerian victory. Rabiu Ali to take Nigeria in front. Safely into the back of the Mozambican net. He doesn't miss. South Africa and Mali both up to 4 points. The winner today will only be on 3. Nigeria have 2 in 4 minutes. Anusun, long range and just curling wide. Snapshot out of almost nowhere, producing debate going on between Daniel Amagachi, the player, and the medical doctor of Nigeria's team before he came back onto the park, just seeing whether or not he was capable of making his way back on. Inside the area, great chance for Nigeria, side netting it is. Seeded, but they've scored an average of 3 goals a game. 3 wins and a loss in the tournament overall. They've been an attacking side. Occasions and scored 4 goals in a match. Did it against Mozambique, they did it against Morocco. Over the last 10 minutes, nearly 2/3 of the possession. They made use of it, and the answer is almost certainly no. Can they do so now? Yahya Mohammed needed a quick turn. Couldn't finish it off. Bright Seme, enough time. All over the top. Lovely little run here from Uzoeni. Needs to control. Nigeria pushing forward. There's an advantage here being played. And Ibrahim with a spectacular effort that crashes off the crossbar. Given an opportunity by Stephen Keshi in the starting lineup today for Eagles. Rabiu Ali. Kwambe. Jordan Apoko, some referring to him as the River Jordan. Beautiful display of finesse. Kwambe tries the long throw for Nigeria. Quick little flick on. Nigeria agonisingly close to finding an opener here. Stephen Adams is gone. Inside the area, goal deflected, but free kick already been awarded to Nigeria by the time the shot had been taken. Zenye, delivery, Adams has missed it. Great chance for Nigeria here over the top. Rabiu Ali had 2 chances to put that away, could take neither. Zugazwe says that is the end of 90 minutes. We are going to see at least half an hour. Yeah. Ball went inside. Couldn't quite get into an attacking position. Still alive for Nigeria. Ball out to the far side. A late strike may very well be on the cards. Can we prevent penalties with a late effort here? Zueni tried to feed in. And Zugazwe looks at his watch. Nigeria! Denied by Adams. On the line with arguably the final play of the 120. Adams keeps Ghana in it. If that had gone in, it was game over. Penalties, they've still got a chance. Powerful header against the Nigerian side that can't find a goal from the line. Penalty shootout is underway. Michael Okufo solidly home from the man that took over the captain's armband. Stephen Adams save against Zueni here, who tucks it away comfortably. The man who spent some time in France now back to take a 2-goal advantage in and struck home powerfully. He scored from open play against Stephen Adams on the line. Kwame denied. Adams pulls out the save that gives Ghana the advantage. Big game Anuson had. Can he cap it all off with a successful penalty conversion? This time he does. Goes high and to the corner. Ghana lead 3-1 in the penalty shootout. Just made the save. Advantage of the situation that had been handed to them, but that kick now sends Ghana into the final for the second time. There's a hope from the fans. There is a distinct sense of relief from the Ghanaian players that perhaps that'll carry through to the final. The momentum